Welcome back to PJ Talks Talk. I'm PJ, and this video, as promised in the previous driving video, if you've not watched that, I'll put a link in the description, is all about the Porsche 911 GT3 992.1 generation that I borrowed from People of Fate car showroom in Dubai. And they've gifted me this Porsche for 3 days to do a review and to do some content for you guys on YouTube. Been really enjoyable. The car is absolutely amazing and the service is brilliant. They dropped it off in a lane. They're coming to pick the car up today at 6 o'clock. So I've got about 4 hours left with the car until I've got to hand the keys back. But like I said, we'll go outside, we'll have a look at the exterior, look at the interior, we'll have a little chat about the GT3, and then we'll call it a day. So here it is in all its splendour, the racing yellow Porsche 911 GT3, the 992 Gen 1. Now the 992 Gen 2 is already out and there's lots of videos on YouTube all about that, but this is not that. This is definitely a Gen 1 edition. So there will be some differences between this one and the later iteration, if you like, and not just facelift. But let's have a proper look around this car and we'll talk through some of the quirks and some of the decent stuff about it. There are some things I don't like, and again, we'll discuss that as well. So we'll start at the front. It makes sense. Stunning headlights. And the main thing I want to talk about in the front is just the change of the aero and the aggressive air intake you've got here. Really big wide mouth for sucking air in. Air channels either side of here into here, and also air goes into these side slots as well, which goes straight into the wheel arches. It's very aggressive, and it's also two-way adjustable. Underneath you can adjust the front splitter, 2 different settings for extra downforce. And the downforce front end grip on this car is just incredible. If you haven't watched the driving video, go and watch that, because I'll talk about that on the driving video, and there's a reason why. It's mainly to do with the double wishbone suspension setup now on the front of this 911, the first time ever in a 911. Obviously you get the badge on the front, the very nice prancing horse of Porsche for Stuttgart, the shield. Really nice headlights, very effective as well. And on the Gen 1 edition of the 992, you get the lights in the bumper as well. In the Gen 2, they've been removed and put into the main light cluster, so that's a slight difference. Also on here we have the knacker ducts on the front for more cooling, and you can see the bonnet's got some nice shape to it to channel air up here and over the top of the car. Looking on the side then, other than the vents coming in here to cool the brakes, there's no real vents on top for discharging air pressure at all in the GT3, but there is in the GT3 RS. Check out these wheels. So these are wrapped in Michelin Cup Sport 2 tyres, and with the lightweight aluminium sort of forged wheels with a centre locking nut. Huge, I think they're 308 or 408, I can't remember, but massive carbon ceramic discs, 6-pot calipers with Porsche emblem on them. Just really incredibly big wheels and big tyres. They're ZR20s, they're 255 and they're 20-inch, so very wide tyres, the 255 across. And you can see the tyres they put on them, the Cup Sport 2s, Michelin's, are almost slicks, so really good again for front end grip. Down the side then, standard Porsche 911 as you go down the side really. Effective wing mirrors with some more aero to channel air. The door handles are nice and flush on the side, and they come out when you go to open the door, but they're kind of flush again for, again, more airflow going across the side of the car. Little side skirt. This one hasn't got the lightweight roof. It is lightweight, but it's not the carbon fibre roof. It's got the lightweight glass in it as well. So it's not proper glass, it's lightweight in the back especially. It's kind of plasticky. Again, all weight saving stuff. Rear wheels then, you've got the 315/30 ZR21s on the rear. Again, Michelin Pilot Club Sport 2 S's. Centre wheel locking nuts as standard. And again, quite a large disc. That's like a disc brake you get on the front of a car. So yeah, really meaty brakes, and the brakes are a standout thing about this car. They are just, performance is just unbelievable. Back of the car, get this little sort of spoiler at the back, and then above it, it's just the ridiculous wing. Absolutely massive. And this is the main player in terms of the amount of downforce this car produces, especially with the design. And I wasn't sure I liked it at first, but with the swan neck and the little finlets. The finlets trap air, stop the span-wise flow of air dripping over the side. They force it across the spoiler, or the wing, sorry. But these coming on the top, rather than going underneath, it means that underneath the flow of air is completely undisturbed all the way along because the mounting points are on top. On my GT4, the mounting points were here, and it's a much smaller wing as well. But yeah, so that's the reason why they've done that, and that just produces a huge amount of downforce. Again, this is adjustable, so this is in its standard mode. You can put it at a far more aggressive angle of attack. And as I mentioned in the driving video, this produces 50% more downforce than the standard GT3 in the previous variant, the 991, and 150% more downforce when you've got this wing in its more aggressive setting, which is hugely impressive. I think it's like 800 kilos of downforce at max speed, which is like a baby hippo sat on top of the car. Incredible. At the back, you've actually got some fake vents here, which I'm really surprised about with Porsche. You think that they would come straight from the wheel, but I'm pretty sure, having looked, yeah, there's no, they're fake, which is a bit, that's a bit naff Porsche. Whether they're, it's a centralised bumper, the same bumper as a GT3 RS, I'll have a look when I get the GT3 RS on the channel, because I am getting one soon. Whether it's just a standard bumper, and therefore on the GT3 RS they're functional, and the GT they're not. Let me know in the description and the comments what you think about that, because I think that's a bit rubbish. Big rear diffuser, active, with a little gap between the diffuser and the top for, again, this is all cooling, cooling air out from the engine. Obviously the engine sits in the back of a Porsche. Again, lovely grille here. But it's like artwork. The back of this car is like a piece of art. I really do like it. The light strip lights up in the back. That used to be something that was only on the Carrera 4S, but now it's on the GT3. In fact, most of the Porsches have got that now. Parking sensors are standard, and then you've got your twin exhausts, and they're a sports exhaust from Porsche. That's nothing non-factory, that's a factory exhaust. And you can see these active, the rear diffuser. Underneath the car, there's loads of air canards as well. I think there's double the amount from the previous generation, just shaping all the air underneath the car, causing as much ground effect as they can, and shaping the air towards brakes for cooling, just to give this car more downforce and suck it to the road. Again, incredibly impressive. You get their little 4-litre badge. If you want to look at the engine, you can't, so you're out of luck. The last time you could lift the rear up and look at an engine was in the 997. Since then, it's been completely enclosed, but yeah, really nice. Look at this car. It is stunning in this colour. Fuel cap on the side remains that kind of heritage area. They've never moved it, always kept it there. Right, let's have a look at the front, and we'll look at the axis you've got to the engine, and we'll look inside. So we'll pop the engine bay up. So here we go. That's all you get. So if you want to see into the engine, there you go. You get access to the coolant and the oil, and that is it. That is your boot, if you like, on a Porsche GT3. The front's a bit bigger, so pop the catch, and the catches are down here next to the lovely GT3 carbon fibre sill. That's for your boot, if you like, and that's for the front. Come round, there's a little red catch in here, which you put your finger on, and it comes up. Now this is a work of art. This is completely reinforced matte finish carbon fibre, and this is incredibly light, like really light air. I think this is the heaviest bit on the front. Big front, huge amount of space. Porsche's are really good at that. Behind there is your toolkit, which I won't touch at all. And you can see down here now the vents. You can see the radiators at a slight angle for better airflow. But that's what you get. And washer fluid. If you need to put washer fluid in your track car. So that's the front. Let's have a look inside. So standard Porsche build quality. The doors feel like they're armoured. They just think the build quality on Porsches is incredible, as we all know. On the door then, you got the yellow cross stitch with the black leather, nice gloss carbon fibre finish, and then loads of Alcantara, really high quality suede and Alcantara. You've got the window controls and the mirror controls here, door lock and unlock, and then you've got a really nice Bose sound system. However, the only sound you really need to hear is that flat 6 howling to 9,000 RPM, 502 brake horsepower. It is incredible. Individual throttle bodies, naturally aspirated, well done Porsche. And just back here actually, just looking at that, you've got the intakes here for the engine, for that beast of an engine. Right, inside then, loads of carbon fibre, Alcantara, really nice finish, and this particular one has got the full-on 918 Spider full carbon fibre sports bucket seats, which are incredibly beautiful to look at, but not that comfortable to sit in. I've done 600 kilometres in this car since I got it, and when I got out of it last night, having done all the filming, my back was in tatters. They've got no adjustment here at all, so they can go up, and the car kind of goes up and forward, or you can go down and back, but that's the only adjustment other than forwards and backwards, depending how long your legs are, for the beautiful billet pedals. So yeah, not really that comfortable, unfortunately. I would definitely, if I was buying one of these, delete the GT3 sports bucket seats and put in the next ones down, which are a bit more padded. They are bucket seats, but they've got adjustment. They've got adjustment in the back of the seat. See the beautiful black roll cage in there, full roll cage in the back. A lot of them have them colour coordinated, but I really like the subtlety of this. I quite like the fact it's not shouting out the same colour as the car. Carbon fibre centre console, and something I really like, which I'll talk about in a minute when I jump in, but this sort of fake gear lever. Looks like a manual, but it's not. It's the 7-speed DCT, or the PDK as Porsche call it. Yeah, but lovely inside. All the leather, Alcantara and carbon fibre. Let's jump in. Right, inside the Porsche GT3. And you can tell you're in a Porsche GT3 because it tells you. It's quite nice, isn't it? But anyway, let's start it up, get the aircon on because it's very warm with 36 degrees today. So foot on the brake, the key's on the left-hand side. It's a plastic key, permanently fitted, there's no key. The only key you've got for the car is this one, which is colour coordinated and in the shape of a Porsche, which is really nice as well. On here, just twist. It starts and comes into life. Got the aircon on very low because it is very hot here, so hopefully that's not going to be interfering with the my audio. On the steering wheel then, right hand side paddle shifter to go up, left hand side paddle shifter to go down, horn in the middle. On the left hand side you've got the audio control and a button you can program to whatever you want it to do. On the right hand side you've got the mode select switch, answering your phone, going back button, and you can go through the different screens on here as well, which is pretty cool. So at the moment that one's highlighted in yellow now. If I can press that button again, now the one on the right's highlighted, and then I can have got some functionality where I can flick through track mode, sport mode, performance, and all this rest of it. It's all the G-force lap timer for the chrono, which is actually running at the moment, a bit weird. We'll sort that out in a minute. But that's the normal setup when you start up in comfort mode. Talking about comfort mode, that's because this switch here is Porsche's version of the Malatino switch, and this will select your different drive modes. So just go to the right once. If you look at the dash, you'll see you can go to sport. You can't really hear the exhaust note change that much from inside, but you can outside. Go into track mode. Again, it'll go to track mode and it'll display the track mode settings, which is on the left hand side, where your tyre pressure's on the right hand side. It will go through. If I now press the back button, press to show, there we go, back to the normal mode again. So you can play around with this as much as you want. You can go to track mode, so you'll see the track and it all changes, gives you your temperatures now. And again, like I said, you can flick through that to show whatever you want to show, your G meter, your braking, accelerating, and your chrono. It's a really clever actually system of playing around with it. Put whatever you want on there, I suppose. In the middle, I really like the fact that the tacho in the middle remains analog. So a little bit of a rev. Nice. That's in track mode. Sport mode the same. Very nice. And then you go into normal mode, which is kind of your comfort mode if you like. And then, yeah, much quieter. Yeah, really nice. Left and right hand side are digital, but I do really love the analog in the middle. It tells you what you're in park, reverse, neutral and drive, and gives you your speed in kilometers as well. Whilst we're on digital, right hand side infotainment screen, full Apple, full Android as well. Really responsive screen, works really well. I've got it in car mode at the moment. You can put it back, but it's instant, responds straight away. You can tap your phone by Bluetooth, or you can use Apple CarPlay. So that's kind of that. On the left hand side you've got all your lights. On the middle, behind this lovely automatic stick, but not manual, but looks like a manual, really nice, is all your climate control. One thing I really like about Porsche is they've retained the buttons for the climate control. There's a lot of supercars now, like the MC20 for example, stick it on their infotainment system, which is great, but then if you just want to Google Maps or you're playing your media, but you want to just, I don't know, change your temperature or the fan speed, you have to go through the settings on the screen to do that, which I don't like. The buttons here then, you've got your front lift, which is a optional extra fitted. You've got your PASM, your Porsche stability system in terms of the dampers, active management system. You've got your full ways, you've got your ECS, and you've got your ECS and traction control off buttons, which is just bonkers if you're doing that, unless you want to track and you want to go sideways, because the car is immensely powerful. Okay, moving on to the gear lever then. Simple operation gear lever, that's it in park. You have to push down the top with your thumb to get it to move. So push the thumb down, first click gets you into reverse with the reversing camera, and then you can go back into neutral and then into drive, and then pretty much that's it really. You can go to the left to put it into manual gear shift, minus and plus. If you want to be in manual, or back to automatic and then back to park. Very simple but very nice, very tactile, feels like a real gear lever even though it's not. I like it. In terms of storage in the Porsche GT3, you get a decent sized glove box actually. You get a side pocket here and a side pocket there in both doors, which is quite good. You've got a cup holder here which comes out nicely, again German engineering technology, comes out nice and smoothly. You've got a cup holder in the middle, which I'm using it as a key holder, and for some reason, I don't know why, a bit of a quirk of the car, you can remove that. Not that you get to anything from doing that, but yeah, if you want to, you can remove that. Here you've got the standard fare, so that's a charger for your phone, and you've got USB-C only, 2 USB-C ports. And the back of the car then, as I said, seat delete, so roll cage, but there is quite a lot of area there for storage, put your bags in. The only problem is you can't really get past the roll cage to get to it, and unlike a GT car, the glass at the back doesn't lift up. Normal vents for your aircon coming through, standard mirror, lights, normal sun visors, nothing really special about them, but just again, build quality, immense. Right, up on the dash, you've got your sports chrono and the clock. That works really well, and here you select sports chrono on your dashboard and then you press start. As you press start, watch the sports clock. It spins around as its thing and it started the lap time. So now you've got your lap, new lap, and again you can just stop that whenever you want. Stop and then continue. It will continue again if you wanted to, or again you can press stop and then reset, and then it goes back to being a normal clocky stopwatchy thing. And yeah, that's pretty much, that's the sports chrono, so good for your lap times. Other than that, that's really it for the interior. There's nothing else really to talk about. You get a fire extinguisher in case the worst case thing happens and you burst into flames, hopefully not. But that's it for the interior really, nothing else to say. Really nice place to sit, incredibly well made Porsche GT3. Hope you enjoyed the look around the outside and the interior, the startup, the different exhaust note, a bit of a rev, and yeah, watch the other videos. I'll put links in the description for the review of driving this beautiful GT3 and also the drive up the mountain, which was incredibly impressive. One last thing, if you're watching this you haven't subscribed yet, because 92% of the people that view my videos aren't subscribed, please subscribe, it really helps the channel. Give me a thumbs up and then hit the bell so you get notifications of more videos, because I will be doing full reviews on my own McLaren, the Jag and the Bentley behind, and also MC20 Maserati is coming up on the channel as well, so hopefully you enjoy that too. Until then, stay safe, see ya.